Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 9th episode of Full Dive RPG. And last episode, our protagonist kinda is in a bit of a training arc-ish sort of situation. I'm not even really sure what to call it, but he's like recruited as a mercenary or something, and he's like, everyone's just kind of realizing how much he sucks at combat, so, and that kind of makes sense, because this is a realistic game, for better or for worse, mostly for worse. And yeah, you don't just pop in to a new world and just suddenly you're an ultimate warrior in real life. It's just not how it works. So he's dealing with he's dealing with that for now. So I guess we'll see how he continues to deal with that in this episode. Let's dive on in. 3, 2, 1, play. After the usual intro sequences. Bum 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 bum. Don't you just love all the encouragement that he gets from these friendly individuals? You know, you could just take that quick shot there with a text and kind of the show in a nutshell. This is my life, even in a game. It's not any better. I'm sure things will pick up next episode, or this episode rather. When we'll see our goblin friends again. Honestly, I just want to see you again, our red-haired crazy girl. I mean, maybe she could have like a one-on-one training session with protagonist Kun. That would actually be pretty interesting. And our title was the Fairy's power. So yeah, I mean, Fairy only can refer to really one character, so I'm interested to see what that actually means. Oh, okay. Is it really that good of a thing? Okay. It's like a counseling office. Yeah. I think. So, yeah, what is this gonna be like? I mean, the boy could use some good counseling, like, for, like, the whole show. He could use that, but... Get in there, you know you need this. Please make me feel better about myself, sir. I was waiting for the guy to say, just cry me a river. I don't know if I trust this man. That you're a loser. I knew it was gonna be something like that. Well, I mean, you really can't argue against that. And I couldn't possibly say no, yeah. But I mean, Tesla is a cool guy. Didn't want to disappoint him. I recommend quitting. Well, I mean, I I guess it kind of settles that, right? Like, what more can he say? I'd say we got some pretty good advice. Learn to be, just learn to say no. Might do you a lot of good. So is that the fairy's power? I kind of feel better. Oh, that voice. Oh yeah, Kathy, okay. Glad to see you again. Well, I went somewhere to feel better and didn't really work. Useless freaking fairy. I could listen to her voice all day. A cross or something? Does it work that way? That's not amazing advice, but it was friendly advice, so it might be better than the last advice in that regard. But I mean, the counts and always didn't work. I guess this is a plan B. Oh, was it? Is it? Also, I drink a lot of waters because I'm sweating to death in this room. So she's kind of cute, but don't trust her either. Is it lewd? Is she just gonna pour water on him? Because I'll take that too. I will gladly take that right now. Bet you're awake now. Thank you, ma'am. May I have another? Yeah, don't you feel better? Wasn't it worth coming here? You know, minus the cold. So what's plan C? You say it's homesick from work today. Don't sneeze on your fairy. Probably frowned upon. Day 4. Well, I don't know what you expected, really. You were told everything's your fault, you had water splashed on you, and you were told to pray. I don't know how much of a change in a day you expected from that. Was really that funny? Is being an asshole really that amusing? I don't follow the logic. None for you two. If anyone deserves consequences, it's you. Punch him in the eye. I mean, he's probably still stronger than you, let's be honest. It's not gonna go well. Seriously, he could not look any more evil if he tried. Maybe you should block with a sword and not your arm? Just some friendly advice. We would be done if you had any morals. But we know that's not true. Yeah, but we're just gonna stand here and do nothing. You know, just assault and battery, nothing worthy of your attention. Yeah, he doesn't care though. Well, you haven't really done anything, so... Like, advice is advice, but if you don't actually do anything, it's... You gotta actually do something. Like, quitting was an option. That was the advice he was given. Didn't do it, so... He's trying to go down her route. I don't think she's quite as much of a pushover as he is. I really don't like the look of this. She gonna reconsider? Really wish you wouldn't touch her. Really don't deserve to. Like, I don't blame her if she wants to distance herself from him. I wouldn't want to be friends with him either, so I get it. But it sucks for him. That's kind of the moral, not moral, the root of the story. Sucks to be him. I imagine he's not. Yeah, that's what probably might just hurt the most. I mean, rubbing salt in the wound, that'd also be a good tagline for this show. Well, he is. Like, 1 day left. Despondent. Fairy power? Are you gonna splash him with holy water? You made it to day 5. He's not dead yet. Did she hide his boots? Gonna do like a bit of a turnaround with having the fairy bully them? Maybe she'll try to frame the blonde dude, pit them against each other. Maybe that's what. Maybe that'll be a thing. Oh, in the mud. Yeah, well, I mean, he deserves it. Grandma's boy. That's the question. Who's gonna get the blame? Because, I mean, the one that has most motive would be Hero, so he might just assume sewage, so not even know that's really gross. Yeah, I knew that wouldn't just be one thing. I knew this would continue. So are we just gonna focus on him? No missing stuff for the blonde dude? Because if that's the case, then it might be the attempt to pin them against each other. He hasn't blamed Hero yet. And I mean, she's probably like in a rock or something. How you like being bullied? Not so great when you're on the other end of it, is it? Did he find it? Did he find it? Is it, he's like in the toilet or something? We found it though. I mean, that counts for something. The bad enemies definitely don't want to be cut by it now. What a shitty sword. What, are you gonna cry about it? Okay, now Hero. Now he's got the blame. I knew it was a matter of time. Because he's the only one that he knows of that has any motive. Yeah. And there's probably not going to be any evidence of an invisible fairy doing it, so... Yeah. You ungrateful. What was that sound? Was that even... What happened now? Panty theft. We've gotten there. Is this gonna be blamed on him somehow? Please don't shake your butt. And yeah, grunt in his bag. Okay. I had a bottle of water. It was like dripping because of the condensation or whatever. It dripped on my bare foot. Freaked me out. Yeah, I definitely want to wash those. I don't think being rude is gonna help anything here. Yeah, we're just slowly turning everyone against him. Yeah, she didn't do anything wrong. She's the victim here, and you're being mean to her. And when you already look like the the perpetrator, so not doing yourself any favors. This is great. Yeah, how about you quit? Yeah, he might not want to associate with you anymore. If anyone needs a new big old nickname tag, it's him. And just like that, the turns have tabled. I have no sympathy for you. I still had more animosity, whatever the word is, towards the blonde guy than him, but I'll take what I can get. Personal reasons. Oh, is that Tesla? Nobody would dare put his sword in the crapper. Is it a letter of resignation? Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. But yeah, he was also a jerk to Hiro, so... Yeah, read it to us, please. Oh yeah, that is some potential motive. Okay, yeah, I didn't even think about that. That was a big deal. Oh, 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 okay. So this was the overall plan. It's all coming together now in my head. And just in actuality. Furry's pretty smart. No. You look extremely buttered over there. There you go. Okay, now she comes through. That is bull. I mean, you really weren't that bad to him. Like, there was a bit of betrayal there, but... wasn't that bad. Especially since you did come around here. I don't know if he'll be able to appear here much longer. Yeah, and you probably did that. That'd be a perfect rock to put his sword in. Yeah, just everyone. but not a single one defended you. That's very telling. Goodbye, sir. You will not be missed. So basically self-study time. You know how the teacher would rather write it on the chalkboard sometimes? When there's something better to do than teach. It's okay, I was never really that mad at you. Okay, everyone. Yeah, this is such a 180 turnaround in status quo. What about him? Are you implying we should kick him a couple times? Mission completo. Yeah, we really got to see what a fairy is capable of this episode. Being invisible and being able to fly, you can get a lot done. It worked. Eye for an eye and all that. You weren't willing to do anything, somebody had to. That's a good point. We really didn't do too much damage to Paul, whatever, however you say that. Okay. What? I really can't decide which title's been the best so far. They're all pretty good. Yeah, she just supports you. And this was for your benefits, so embrace it like a true edgelord would. Probably gonna be next episode that we get into that. Well, no, but believe in yourself. Hope for the best. Okay. Yes. Her chest is just so big. It's like, it sticks out so much farther than her face. It's just so conspicuous. Okay. Secret revealing time? Okay. Yeah, this is a really important subject. I'm all ears. You're not gonna cliffhanger us on that, are you? They are. They did. The nerve. If I could, I would have smacked the fairy for that. That tease. You know, the show knows that if I see the shaking butts, I'm gonna feel better. Can't stay mad at it. It's playing dirty, but it works. Works. Now I want to bury my sword. Interesting how that little phone strap thingy, I don't know what you call it, it like bounces even though nothing around it seems to. I don't know how that works physics-wise. A new ally. Sister, perhaps? Kaide, whatever her name is. That probably, I mean, that's gotta be what that means, right? So, we'll see though. So, that was the 9th episode of Full Dive RPG, right? So, yeah, and we are very much still in the training sort of arc. That's still the best thing I can call it. The, or the Goblin prep arc. I don't know, you can call it whatever you want, but we're still in it, that's the point. And we actually had some hero kind of, from the fairy's suggestion, he actually kind of went to try to seek consultant advice, right? He went to go talk to some people, right? So he went to this one counseling office and hoping that would help, at least make him feel better. And I don't think it did, really. I mean, the gist of the advice was basically like, it's kind of your fault and you should just quit, right? Which he didn't take that advice, for one thing. And yeah, he didn't seem to even consider the possibility that he could have just said no to Tesla when he invited him over. Like he couldn't just take a look inward, have a little bit of self-awareness, and realize, you know what, I probably can't do that. I probably am not capable of doing what he thinks I can do here. So I mean, Tesla just in general probably overestimates my abilities. Maybe I should not do that, but they did anyway, right? So yeah. So yeah, the advice, not exactly what he wanted to hear, not exactly something that made him feel any better. But it wasn't wrong advice, that's the thing. And he even got to talk to Kathy, who also tried to help. Her advice wasn't great, but it like made him feel better. So they were almost kind of like opposite ends of the spectrum in that regard, which was interesting. And she kind of convinced him to go pray to God, essentially. He went to like a church or something, and he got like baptized. Just this sister, she comes over with a big old thing of water, just splashes it on him, which had to have felt incredible, by the way. Yeah, it would have been worth the trip just on that basis. But yeah, I mean, the funniest thing was just that he expected there to be some kind of change after that. Like, that's kind of how he acted the next day, right? Like, what, everything's kind of the same. What happened? Like, as if anything's going to change. He didn't do anything. Like, he just got advice and opinions and stuff. Like, nothing actually changed, right? That's kind of a big crux of it too. Like the idea that if you're unhappy with your situation, but you do nothing to change it, it's not going to change, right? Like you gotta start something. You gotta do something. There's this one quote that was thrown around a lot, a few years back. You know, if you do the same thing over and over again, expect different results. The definition of insanity, something like that. I'm kind of paraphrasing. So, like, you got to do something to enact change. And in this case, it actually wasn't Hero that did it. It was his fairy friend, but I guess fairy friend kind of his personal support character, so maybe you could count it as him doing something. But anyway, yeah, she actually did something, which was kind of like hiding things, framing people, kind of like some big convoluted scheme, right? And pretty much just kind of essentially put Garada, is that his name? Something like that. He kind of ended up kind of getting put on the opposite end of the bullying, right? So, and also framing him for doing something bad as well. Like kind of both those things happened to him, and really just kind of pit everyone against him. So the group kind of got like a new punching bag, essentially, right? Even his best friend, the blondie, Palu, whatever his name is, he also turned his back on him, right? I mean, because if you're both scummy people, obviously you're not going to stick around very long if the fair weather is no longer fair, right? We also had a bit of Kathy stuff in this episode. Like we had one painful to watch scene, the betrayal scene, essentially. Right, that was hard to watch because obviously Kathy is a pretty good person. Like she's friends with Hero, she wants to be helpful to him, but at the same time, she doesn't, like, nobody would really want to invite harassment onto themselves if they can avoid it. Like that's a hard thing to voluntarily do, right? As someone is essentially almost straight up gives you a choice, like, do you or do you not want to be harassed by us? Like that's really the choice she was given there, and it's one of those hard things to do. So I didn't really blame her much at all when she kind of turned his back on him there, and the fact that she did come back later, that does say a lot as well. That does count for a lot. And she obviously felt very bad about what she did. Like we didn't really see much of her after that, but you can imagine she was probably very torn up about that off screen. Like it's pretty clear. When we saw her again with tears down her eyes, it was pretty clear based on that. So, but yeah, I didn't have any sympathy for these people that got screwed over because they had it coming. Eye for an eye, very clear example of that in this episode. Well, one of the problems, though, even though a lot was resolved in that regard, Hero still can't really fight. Like that wasn't solved. That was like the biggest issue, that he can't fight, and we have a goblin issue coming up. So we gotta do something about that, right? I do find it funny that the fairy power from the title was just her hiding stuff and like framing people. That was a supposed fairy power. Nothing all that supernatural, aside from the fact that she's like invisible and flies and stuff. Aside from that supernatural element of it, there wasn't like some secret magical power manifested. It was just fairy bullying. That's what it was. So that's pretty funny. So I'm glad that most of the douchebags got what was coming to them. Although Paul, like, wasn't really even that bad. Like, I think they made it where the letter was sent by him, but it really wasn't that bad, not compared to how screwed over the other two got. So I don't know if we'll do any more with that, or if he'll just be let off more than the other two did, but we'll see, I guess. But for now, definitely the focus is on the goblins. That is a big issue that we're gonna have to deal with. But so far, Hiro is he's not quitting. He's not running away. Despite the one guy advising him to quit, he's gonna stick this out, which is good because that's, yeah, the sister or whatever did not like him quitting all the time. So it's good in that regard that he's sticking with it, even though it's pretty dangerous, even though he's risking his machine. But judging by the new episode title, yeah, I mean, that's very telling, so we'll see what comes of that next episode. So, until then, this is going to be it for the show. Gonna have to start wait for it wait till the next episode next week. If you enjoyed this reaction, I hope you click the like button and visit my Patreon and click buttons that allow you to join it and stuff like that. So, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.